Okay guys, what's up? So this is actually a separate video that I am making in this video series of this CRF 110 build, and this is a question that every time people see pictures of it they post and ask me about. I'm doing this for the first time. I have talked to a bunch of people that have done it, but I am going to put a Piranha exhaust off of a 2013 to 2018 CRF 110 on my 2020 CRF 110. Alright, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and tighten these up so I can see exactly where this is going to land, and then we're going to have to figure out how, literally we're talking like maybe an inch and a half, probably actually not even that, but yeah, it's close, so the extension shouldn't be super hard to make. Okay, so one other thing that I wanted to check is that regardless of where you mount this or how you make your extension, is make sure it's not going to hit the plastic anywhere or melt something. So that gives you a rough idea of what it looks like, and it is not touching the plastic anywhere, so we should be good. So here's the deal. I had to come over to the big shop that I usually work out of. No one's here, so that's why I came over.
Guess what, bitch? Coronavirus!
But here's the problem that everybody said it had. It does have, but it's going to be super easy to fix. This is where, so that's how it lines up. So that's the bracket you have to make. Is obviously this got some wiggle in it right now, but when this is tight up front, that's about the bracket you have to make. So it's almost a straight piece, and you need to extend like, you know, maybe 2 inches, something like that. But I have the bracket made for up here. I'll show you in a second. But the other issue that a lot of people talked about, that if you leave your frame aluminum, it's probably not going to matter. But because mine's powder coated, where this touches the frame, it could mess up the powder coat right here. So what I did was put a mark at the top and a mark down at the bottom, and to match the angle of which way the frame is going, I'm going to lay a socket on the back of here and just dent the pipe in just a little bit so there's more room for clearance, so it's not touching, and that way when I bolt the top tight up here, it's not like snugged into the frame and just sits there and melts that powder coat off. Alright, so I'm going to use a flashlight here to show you. You can kind of see, but if you look right there, I put just a small ding in that pipe. I basically just took a socket and rolled across and hammered in, and you have to hit it decently hard. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are going to crucify me for putting a ding in the pipe like that, but it reminds me, it's very similar to like if you have a factory 2-stroke pipe like I have laying on the floor right here. There's actually factory dents in those pipes. I know those are probably tuned for that, but for what I'm using this bike for, that isn't going to affect it. And like I said, if you use an aluminum frame and don't have it powder coated, you could let that lay against the frame and I don't think you're going to hurt anything. But I'm going to show you the back bracket now, which is super simple to do too. So here is a better look at what I did, and obviously this is a little rough here. It was just a piece of aluminum I could find over at the garage to make this with. If you notice, literally all you have to do is just cut a piece of aluminum, put 2 bolt holes in, and you know, put it basically just a little extension relocation bracket. I don't know what the proper name for something like that would be, but it's super easy to do. This is actually the factory bolt that was in the exhaust, and then I just added a bolt here and put a nut on the other side. And this pipe looks sick. I'm super pumped with how that looks. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all there is to it. It's, you know, everything down here bolts up fine. There's no issues I can see happening. It's not perfect, but I think for what most of us use pit bikes for, it is completely sufficient and at the same time looks pretty good. So one thing I forgot to mention is the only other issue you could maybe come across if you're super picky like I am is when you put the side panels on here, right here at the bottom of the pipe, just this small piece, the plastic does touch that. On the factory pipe, there's a heat shield across there to protect the plastic from that. So what I'm going to do is put a piece of, on the inside of the side panel, I'm going to put a piece of that like silver flashing tape. I'm not 100% sure what it's called, but it's heat protectant. I've seen it on big bikes before. So I'm going to put a piece of that on there. I don't think it's going to melt the plastic or anything like that, but that's it. That's literally all it takes to put a Piranha 2018 to 2013 exhaust on one of these 2019 and up CRF 110s. So hopefully that helped.